What up, nerds? It's me, it's Iggy. We're here. We're celebrating 10 years of Project Nerd. I am so excited, and I am learning to do technical things in the background. So, excuse me while my eyes wander. I have to stop videos, but it is 10 years. Project Nerd, today, March 20th, 2012, we published the first blog post on Project Nerd. And as you saw from the slideshow, so many awesome people along the way. And in fact, we're going to have tons of people jumping in and out. And I had some structure to this at the beginning, but I don't care anymore. We can't celebrate this alone. I can't be here alone. So let's bring in some of these people. I know Justin's hanging out here. We got Mike hanging out here. Sarah's there, but I don't know. Oh, she's there. Okay, we'll bring Sarah in. We've got a full house here. Everybody's hanging out. What's up, everybody?
How you doing?
I'm cooking
Isaiah's
these
here.
so I might go away for a while.
There we go. Alice is joining the crowd. We're all here to celebrate 10 years.
Let's
So
go.
awesome. All right, guys, how's it going? How's everybody doing?
Great. Doing well.
Awesome.
Great.
Doing great.
Great. Awesome. We have tons of comments already. I have to jump over here. Oh, I can't hear the audio. Oh,
Yeah,
you know how you can hear the audio for that slideshow is you head on over to our YouTube and watch it there. That's right. That's how you can catch that audio. Sorry, I couldn't hear the audio, but it was a cool slideshow that Sarah Marie Spectrum, the other Sarah, the brand. I think we have 30 Sarahs at this point, but the other Sarah put that slideshow together, put it out there yesterday. It is live on our YouTube and you can catch it on our website. But I don't know. I'm just like overly excited, and I don't know. Let's talk a little bit about Justin. Let's start with you. You joined the brand. Man, what's it been? 4 years now? 3-4 years that you've been part of Project Nerd?
I would say at least 3, going on
3?
4.
Okay.
If I'm doing my math correctly, yeah, it'd be this would be the 4th year.
Yes, 4 years. We've seen news posts from you, blog posts. We now get your news break weekly.
Yes.
You've helped us edit so much audio along the way. You
Yes.
are the voice of our live award show streams and things like that.
Yes, I am.
And there you go. So that's Justin's here. Sarah, well, we've known each other for quite a while. You've been probably more actively involved with Project Nerd. I'd say 3 years. So it sounds about right too.
Yeah, about then. Yeah, but
Okay.
it's been a long time. It feels like forever, though. Honestly, like I can't. It feels like almost 10 years.
Yeah,
I know it's not a full 10, but it's close.
being around me each year feels like 10 years. I get it. I get what you're saying here. I get it. We've got the G Spot podcast. Of course, you've helped us out with Let's Eat, as well as other productions, new and some coming your way soon. And of course, live events help and all that.
Events is a big one. Mm-hmm.
Big events, yes. And our gentleman below us right here on the screen, Mike, Isaiah, y'all are kicking off a new show for Project Nerd. Celebrate PN10. What? So, yes, y'all are the co-hosts of ePlay, which am I right? Y'all recorded a pilot already, right?
We've got the pilot in the bag, man. It's really going. My co-host Mike and I are just so excited for this show. Shout out to everybody who's been helping us put it together. This is going to be a unique show. I think that people are going to tune in and go, wow, these two guys are very brave. They are very, very brave.
Very brave. There we go. Awesome.
Boldly go, gentlemen.
Yes.
Mike, what about you? You excited for this?
I am incredibly excited for this show. It's going to be, like what Isaiah said, something completely different. You're definitely going to hear a lot of arguments between what's better and why Xbox is better between Xbox and PlayStation. So that you'll probably hear a lot. That'll be an ongoing thing. But we got
emotional damage.
We got a couple segments on there. I don't want to like really spill too much on it, but you're definitely going to laugh and maybe feel a little awkward that you're laughing. So we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes.
Feel a little awkward that we're laughing?
Yes, a good awkward. Like, why am I supposed to be laughing at this? And
that's more in line with how we do the events here too. Yeah.
Yes.
Besides ePlay, we have one other gaming show, and you know what? She couldn't be here today, but let's go ahead and hear what she has to
Hi
say
everyone,
about the show.
I'm Kaisa and I'm the host of Project Nerd's new upcoming show called For the Win, which is a video game news show crossed with clips. So trailers, jokes, memes, gameplay moments, reactions are all going to be packed into 30-minute long episodes. For anyone who doesn't know me, I'm a gamer, I stream on Twitch. Some of my all-time favorites include Resident Evil, especially Resident Evil 8. I loved The Last of Us. I've been playing a little bit of Elden Ring, even though it's pretty difficult, and I've played a lot of League of Legends and some Pokemon as well. I also host a show called Countdown Film and TV on Snapchat and TikTok, and there I cover film and TV news and also have a lot of jokes and memes, but this show is going to be video game news, so it's all going to be video game content on For the Win. I also wanted to say congratulations to the entire team at Project Nerd on 10 years. Congratulations on all your hard work, and I'm super excited to see all the upcoming shows and content that's going to be released, and I hope to see you all at the release of my first episode. Thank you so much. Happy 10 years, Project Nerd. Thanks so much, everybody.
Woo! So 2 new video game shows. Yes.
Let's
and
go.
yes, happy 10 years. I'm so excited to add all 3 of y'all. The shows are coming together wonderfully, and not just the 3 of y'all in front of the screen. The amount of people that are working behind the screen to step our production game up is insane. We have gone from blog with 1 podcast, the Nerdcast, and go back to listen to that first season. And I tell you what, you want to talk about amateur podcasting, to a network of podcasts, to many of those podcasts, Sarah's G Spot and others, turning into new video series that you can see online, as well as brand new streaming shows that we don't even know the platforms all of these shows are going to be on yet, and so much more to announce here in year 11 that we haven't even gotten there yet. I'm so excited, but the audio is still there. We have Press Play, which also has our audio version, as we mentioned, Justin's News Break, which is probably our most listened to audio podcast. I don't know if you knew that,
Wow.
Justin.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it gets
Pressure there.
No. Now you're gonna get nervous about it.
Now I'm gonna get
And of course, we have our as much as we're adding our gaming shows, even though they're not here tonight, Elijah, JD, holding it down for our video game podcast feed. So go check out Project Nerd Gaming, and you can catch Game Pitch and eventually Top 4 and more returning. I don't know. What up? We got. Look at that. All the people have come out to play here.
It's very interesting.
It's very interesting. Atlas, you holding those cookies back from me? I know you got my cookies.
I
know you're holding them hostage.
maybe just wait till your special day. I got some cookies. No cookies. We have so many cookies.
No
cookies.
We're gonna give you cookies.
No.
So awesome. Yeah, it's great that our anniversary always kind of goes with Girl Scout cookie season. It makes sense. I mean, considering my life, it makes a whole lot of sense. But I'm so excited because there's a whole series of Press Play podcasts, our new series that's out. We've released 2 episodes already ahead of this live stream. We'll have 2 more coming out in the next week and a half. And all of those episodes, well, the first one, we pick our winners for the Oscars, but the other 3 episodes, we talk specifically about what's happening right now for 10 years, where we've been, where we're going, all of the cool stuff. I don't know if y'all have been seeing it on the Project Nerd here. Atlas, we could start with you. He's got his arms going. Oh, did your mom go? Atlas, we'll start with you. What are you most excited about in our Project Nerd 10 anniversary announcements yet?
Cookie.
Me too. The cookies, the new Project Nerd cookies.
Yeah.
Atlas, are you more
to start?
right? Atlas, are you more excited for comic books or TV shows or new T-shirts?
Cookie.
We'll stick with the cookies. Sarah, what about the announcements has caught your attention this month?
I'm actually really excited about the publishing because for me, yes, and also for me, when I first even got to meet everybody at Project Nerd, that's all you guys did, that and a little bit of blogging. So for me, it was really exciting to be like, oh my gosh, where I started is coming back. So it was really cool.
Yeah. Thank you, Justin. What's caught your eyes in these announcements so far?
To be quite honest, everything has caught my eye across the board. I mean, publishing, the addition of new series, just the growth of Project Nerd has caught my eye. And every time I see a new announcement, I'm thinking, there we go. That's it. That's going to be great. And then it makes me, think, okay, with all of this new stuff coming in and what you just told me a few minutes ago, now it's time to step up my game and get on everybody else's level. So there you go.
We're trying to get on your level, Justin. Isaiah, besides ePlay, I mean, because obviously that's what you're most excited about. What any of the other Project Nerd announcements this month catch your attention?
Yeah, I'm really excited for the promo we just saw for the win. I think that's going to be really exciting. I'm hoping that maybe I can be a guest on that show as well. But yeah, that sounds super exciting for me. And just being able to collaborate across the brand, I think is going to be really exciting for me as well. Seeing all of the previous shows. I know, of course, Elijah. It'd be great to kind of just cross promote and cross play. How about that? And cosplay. Let's do both of those. So that's really exciting for me.
Gosh, and Mike, when we tell the story every time we're on video together of how long we've known each other, so we'll go deep to it. So you've known Project Nerd for a while, is my point. And what are you excited about? Obviously, again, besides ePlay.
Yeah, I mean, besides ePlay, man, I would just talk about ePlay the whole time. But the publishing is going to be pretty sick. I'm excited to see what's going to be coming out from it, and to see like what kind of stories I'm going to be able to read, and just to see what's going to be going on, and just to see the talent that's going to come through with the publisher, not the publishers, but like the artists that we're going to have on there. I don't read comics very religiously, but I definitely appreciate all the effort that's been put into like creating a comic. So
Definitely. I think all of us here we've been to enough conventions ourselves to see some of the independent creators out there and the work they put in day in and day out. So pretty exciting. I'm excited for it all too. I'm really excited for our summer slate of web series, which includes Sarah's G Spot. That sounded really weird. Sarah's show, the G Spot. There we go.
The G's for geek. The G's for geek.
Thank you. We're getting kicked out of here. We're getting kicked off the line.
HR line one.
Right, excited for that. I'm excited for the Horror Knots return, which and then of course Tell Michael and Infinite Spaghetti, which have already started their spring seasons, are going on there. Oh yeah. So I'm getting messages for other people right now. So as I seem distracted, it's because I'm going to copy this message to the clipboard. We're going to get more faces in here. Really excited to just start bringing in Project Nerd people. We're going to talk, we're going to chat, we're going to hang out. I might disappear early. I'm going to go ahead and warn y'all. I'm going to leave this in everybody else's hands. Eventually, I've got a lot of planning to do for some special event in exactly 2 weeks. I don't know. I gotta get there. That's excitement there. Let's check out while we're getting excited for that. Let's check out a couple of our comments here. Kenneth Sullivan says hello. Well, hello, Kenneth. While we were talking about our podcast is previously sounding amateur, there was a Facebook user who said, I'll show you amateur, probably from Project Nerd, the group. I'll have to see who that is to see if they have a podcast that's amateur. Oh, it was Tyler. Who actually was a part of Nerdcast season 1. So he will show you amateur in the same season I will, I guess. So there's a couple of comments, and of course, a lot of the I can't hear anything, but just a reminder, you can catch the audio for that slideshow if you head on over to YouTube. I got a little bit of some dancing going on in front of the camera. Sarah is pulling double duty here. We applaud you, Sarah. This is impressive.
Yes.
You got motherly duty and stuff like that. All right. So we heard from Kaiza her favorite video games, some of them, including some she's playing right now. Let's start with you gaming gentlemen. Mike, you went last on the last round of questions. So what's your favorite game? What are you playing? So we can remember what was important in the gaming world to you during Project Nerd's 10th anniversary.
Oh, right now, Apex Legends. I'm training for a tournament that I'm going to be doing in this summer. and it's an all adaptive gaming tournament.
Oh,
For
sweet.
those who don't know, I'm a quadriplegic, so we're gonna get a lot of adaptive gaming stuff in our show. So you're definitely gonna get informed on that and learn things that you definitely have never thought about within gaming.
Yeah.
But favorite game, yeah, definitely right now it's Apex Legends. Mostly first person shooters. We're gonna talk about favorite game all time that I can think of right now. Hmm. Right now it's Hellblade.
Hellblade.
Sinuous Sacrifice. Amazing production in that. I actually played it a couple years after it released, and I was just amazed on just the spatial sounds, the audio that they have in that game, where there's people actually talking to you in your head, and I literally would actually spin around and think somebody's actually talking to me. That's how good the audio is.
Yeah, somebody's excited for that too. Isaiah, what are you playing around PN10 here, and what's some of your favorite?
Sure, yeah. So in the last 10 years, one of my favorite games, probably of all time, is God of War. The God of War series, really. This latest one was just something that I thought, man, this could really flop because it's going away from the formula. And then they're also leaning heavily on an NPC. And I thought, oh man, here we go. And that game just wowed me from the opening scene until the credits rolled. But over time, I'm such a variety gamer. The first game that really got me emotionally involved was the original Metal Gear Solid. That for me is still just, the story in that game is just, it's perfect. It's literally perfect. Believe it or not, my unpopular favorite game of all time is Metal Gear 4, because of course that continued the story in a great way. And then I love sports games. Probably most popular is NBA Street Volume 2. Love that game. Let's see. I'm really playing a lot of WWE 2K22 right now, which I just can't seem to put down. Shout out to Rey Mysterio. And let's see, another crazy game that you guys may not know. Let's see. I like Loco Roco. I really like Ollie Ollie 2. That's another game that really kind of caught me off guard. Ollie Ollie 2 was a really cool skateboarding game. So enjoy those.
If you didn't know it from the fact he's hosting a video game show, you now know it here. Isaiah
all
loves
over
video
the-
games.
Got
He
it.
loves video games.
And you said
Justin,
Mortal Kombat. I love Mortal Kombat too. So.
right? Oh, Mortal Kombat always,
Everybody does.
obviously.
Mortal Kombat.
Justin, what are you playing around PN10's anniversary? What are you loving of all time?
Well, currently, I'm going back and forth between 2K PGA 2K21. So that's shows you my age. Also, a little game called Retromania Wrestling, which maybe, yes, I see some head shakes like, yeah, that's great. And yes, I do play as Matt Cardona, and I don't care if anybody hates that or not. Just go ahead and at me. I don't care. But the best video game of all time, in my opinion, is Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty. That game was just perfection. I mean, Snake. But no, I mean, just from beginning to end, it was just every piece of it just constantly would blow your mind. And so that's my favorite game of all time. My second favorite game, and this will really show my age, is going to be Dragon's Lair.
I love it. I love Dragon Slayer.
Yes.
Wait, that's showing our age. Ooh,
That's showing my age anyway.
I thought you were going to say like Pong or something. I was like, yeah, that's showing your age. Yeah.
Space Invaders. I've got that entry from Space Invaders.
Sarah, you got time to play games these days?
I have time to play the games that I like to play, which is I play all the time 24/7 is just Pokemon Snap. I'm not a conventional game player. I don't have that need for like the challenges and the reward system and things like that. For me, video games are like a break. They're therapeutic, and I need them to be non-stressful. So I will play Pokemon Snap for hours, and it's just something about repeating the same level over and over and over again just for that better shot and like completing the photo decks and things like that. So I have that on my Switch. It's something that I can hide away under the covers so my kids can't find me, and I'll play that one. And that's honestly all I've been playing all year, and it's hard for me to find a game to really keep me, and that's probably one of the number ones that does.
All right. Tyler, it didn't show up your name, but this was your comment. I'll show you amateur.
Listen, listen. It wasn't, it was amateur, but it wasn't.
Welcome to the show. So
I'm not gonna stand here.
Tyler,
I'm not gonna stand for it.
My episode of Press Play will premiere on Tuesday, the 30th of March, and we are going to talk extensively about PN10 and the history of the Nerdcast and the conventions we did and everything like that. So don't miss that one out. Don't miss out on that one. But Tyler, you know what we're talking about. You came in and heard it. Are you breaking away from tabletop long enough to get any video games in these days? And obviously, also, what's your favorite video game?
Whew. Wow, that's a big question. Definitely been playing games lately in addition to tabletop games. Obviously, like half of the planet, I have been playing many, many hours of Elden Ring right now because I am a sucker for a From Software game. It's my crack. I love it. I've also been playing some Lost Ark. I have a bunch of friends playing Lost Ark, so it's free to play, Korean MMO jank, and I love it. Just grindy all the time. So, favorite game of all time. Wow. I mean, it's probably got to be Link to the Past, the Zelda from Super Nintendo. I'm obviously a huge Zelda fan. Those are all my favorites, but that's the one that was. I had the original one on NES, but I was too young, I think, to fully appreciate it. Obviously, Ocarina of Time was kind of the milestone for a lot of people, but my sweet spot was definitely Link to the Past on Super Nintendo.
Right.
Basically, I think if I doing my top 10 video games of all time, I think a good chunk of them are going to be on Super Nintendo, Super Metroid, Link to the Past. Yeah.
It's the nostalgia of it.
SNES, those were so good, such good games, man.
Gosh, I'm so excited, which we do also talk about on our podcast that's coming, Tyler. The what is it? The new Ninja Turtles collection that's collecting
the Cowabunga collection, yeah, all of them. So all of them from all the arcade games, all the console games, all the handheld games, and one big collection. It looks awesome.
I have a question though. There was like a reboot happening too that we've never got a date on. Like, when are we getting these games? Like, I need more Turtles right now.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it'll come in conjunction with the new movie reboot, as Seth Rogen's production company has taken over for the new Ninja Turtles. So I'm kind of okay with this compared to whose production company had control of it previously. So awesome. What a squad. Well, thank you, Tasha. Tasha, also PN alum right here. I'm gonna guess. I think we met them in. So I would say, 6 or 7 years probably for Tasha, I think. So impressive. Oh, by the way, we didn't give Tyler's number. Tyler, 10 years. Tyler has been a part of Project Nerd for all 10 years. So
it's true.
Tyler killing it there. And in fact, you have to give credit where credit is due. And we, again, talked about this on our episode, but I was blogging is how Project Nerd started. And Tyler, along with others, would come over once a week and we would just talk. We would eat food and talk nerdy stuff. And Tyler's like, why don't we throw a microphone in front of us? And that was the birth of the Nerdcast. And that was where we show you amateur.
Listen, we were all surrounding one single Yeti snowball mic, not Yeti snowball, blue snowball mic, on a card table in your basement, hooked up to a MacBook Pro, and it was
my unfinished basement too. So echoey basement. Yes, it was fantastic. That was the Nerdcast. We have at this time. Let's check it out. Actually, we're talking about 10 years. So Nerdcast was the very first one. Right now, if you go to our podcast page, you can catch Press Play to Listen, Project Nerd News Break, Murder She Joked, Game Pitch Podcast, the Nerdcast, Cordell Holler, the radio play, which had a brand new season the past couple months, Project Unreal, which will be back this summer, Top 4 and More, High Five the Podcast, Learning the Basics of Dungeons and Dragons, a teach-through podcast, Dude Sweet, and Diving Deep still has some episodes out there. And then, of course, our interviews at events. I don't know. Let's see. I know well, Isaiah and Mike, you'll join us hopefully soon. But right now, Sarah, Tyler, y'all have done interviews for us. What's your favorite interview you've done at an event for Project Nerd so far?
Oh man, I gotta think about this one. I've done a lot. Like, Tyler, you want to go first?
It's tricky. I would say, like, obviously there's been some pretty amazing interviews. I think some of the, like, it's sort of an interview, sort of not. I've moderated a lot of really great panels for Project Nerd over the years, and I think to this day, I did both of them separately. I've done a lot of voice actors and I've done a lot of cool celebrities, but to this day, probably the best panel I ever moderated, granted I didn't do much, was a joint mantle with Maurice LaMarche and Billy West together at Okamacon 4 or 5 years ago, and it was amazing.
All right. I have like the best in terms of it's a hilarious memory, and then a best, probably the best. The one was probably the most recent. We were at Colorado Springs Comic-Con 2021 when he doesn't know I have, but my soon-to-be future husband, Joey Fatone, was there. And I had walked away because he wasn't supposed to be on yet, and they surprised the panel. And there was this is probably not the best, but there were some like other guests that were like just cosplayers that were up there that happened to walk on. And I just see Iggy going, he's here. And I literally walk on in an Ewok costume, and I was like, I just go up to these two cosplayers, and I'm like, you guys can go now. And I just like pushed them out of the shot, and I sat down, and I was like, hello. So that was probably just the best of my memory. But then also, I think for me, I do moderate panels and stuff, but I'm usually on the floor a lot. And my big thing is interviewing cosplayers. And I think some of the best interviews that I've had are meeting people where it's their first time cosplaying, or they're a person with a disability and they're finding their joy for the first time and their bravery to doing it. I've come across people where they have nonprofits and they're so excited that they have the chance to like talk about it on some sort of format. So I do a lot of humanitarian, more like local people when I do my interviews. And I some of the people that I have found are amazing. One person actually, I have to let them know. I interviewed an independent artist, and he just found me and sent me some of his comics for me to read. So it's just, I meet a lot of really good people in the community, and that's always my favorite, probably more than the celebrities, honestly.
Yeah. I think some of the interviews we do are like a fraction of them are the celebrities anymore. And to be honest, we've talked about that over the years, how I think it's so much there's so much excitement getting in with the other fans and having them sit down at the live streams and talk with us. I definitely, one of my favorite memories of before I get into this, we got a new person in here. Let's go now. Let's see how we get 7 people in here. Oh, it's Quentin Lucas here. What's up?
I like the Brady Bunch right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be. There we go. We'll get a couple more in here, and then we'll get the Brady Bunch thing going. But anyways, Tyler forgets to tell you, our very first year of doing this, we set up and we start the interviews, and we get to interview Adam Baldwin, which big Firefly fans, of course, Chuck, those shows. But Tyler is going to do the interview for Adam Baldwin, and Tyler, I'm going to tell the world. He was like, I don't know if I can do this interview. I'm just going to want to just chat with, just hang out, and I'm going to be too excited. I can't do it. So our Adam Adair does the interview with Adam Baldwin. And I think one of the best moments, and you can go back to this interview and find it on Project Nerd and listen to it. There's a point where Adam Adair asks him about working with Joss Whedon, and Adam Baldwin goes, who? And it kind of just goes quiet for a second. And in the background, running the audio, you can hear Tyler just start laughing hysterically while the other 2 guys are just sitting there. So it took our Adam a second to catch that he was being sarcastic. Tyler caught onto it very loudly, very quickly, and it's probably a highlight, I think, in our early interviews for sure.
It is a story that Iggy likes to tell. I have gotten significantly better, but that was definitely that was our first convention. It was definitely my first time, like, I don't know what the word for it is, doing like it, when I definitely did not handle it well. I've gotten much better of it over the years, but I was definitely one of those people who just like shut down completely and could not function.
Everybody has that one celebrity. When I used to work at Disney, we came across VIPs all the time, and we used to have like, who's the one person you lose your job over? And I don't think it matters how long you've been doing it. There's that one person where you just lose your shit. Like, no judgment. Like,
Quentin, what's your favorite panel interview you've done so far as part of Project Nerd?
Oh man, so many to think of. I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know that it would be a panel. It was probably just my favorite like moment, like highlight moment, and that I was in the room for. And that was probably when Joey Fatone and Murr crashed the live stream at Colorado Springs. That was just such an awesome moment of just like pure, live, we're doing it live gold. And it was just hilarious to watch everybody react to like, what the heck is going on? Oh, they're with us now. All right, cool. And so having that plus for a little behind the scenes knowledge, I think I was running the video board for that one. And it's at one point, Murr made a joke about like who is watching. And then he was like, somebody said everyone. And he was like, oh, everyone, like my mom is watching this. And I wrote a card to Murr and I said, yes, your mom is watching. And he like stopped and he was like, oh, my mom is watching. And he like said hi to her in the camera. And that was like one of my favorite moments. Yeah, it was just a ton of fun. I love the live streams. Like any of the Project Nerd live streams, it always feels like anything can happen at any moment. And that's what's so fun about not only being on them, but watching them.
Right. Awesome. Well, I'm about to head out of here because as we've said a couple times, maybe I just want to drop the hint some more. I got some planning to do for 2 weeks out. I've got a big event coming up. We got a big event coming up. I'm going to see some people's faces in face to face for the first time in a while. I'm going to hand the rest of this episode over to Quentin. But for those of y'all out there watching, and we have a handful of y'all out there watching us live, make sure you head over to wherever you're watching us, put in the comments, start asking us questions about Project Nerd, asking us questions about our shows. Again, everybody here is working on some kind of production, actually, when I look at everybody, not to mention many of things. Maybe Quentin can drop some hints for you too in the last half of this episode about where we're going to be over the next 6 months. Because we do have a lot of events coming up. And one of those events, I think I'll talk about it before I leave, because it's another pretty big announcement that we had as part of PN10. And that was the Project Nerd Film Festival, guys. We have our own film festival.
Let's go.
I'm so excited for that. So it's either last weekend of July, first weekend of August. We'll have those dates finalized in the next week or two. If you are an independent filmmaker, which a lot of our friends are, submit those over. Let us know if you have any questions. We want to see some great films. It's going to be a single one-day, straightforward film festival blocks this year, kind of following the format of what our partners have been doing with their other shows, the Colorado Festival Productions. But definitely expect in 2023 and each year after that for it to just compound and compound. And then, of course, the last announcement, there's a hint for it on the website this week. We will finally give you that long-awaited update on what's going on with Project Nerd TV. So stay tuned to Project Nerd for that. And guys, I do have to bring it up before I leave. We are giving away an Xbox Series S right now. And right now is your last chance to sign up for it. If you head on over to projectnerd.com, it's right there at the top. You click on the button, you sign up for our newsletter. Yes, we're going to spam you like every other newsletter, but I promise you it's with stuff that's cool that we're going to spam you with. She's pointing all the way around.
I was like, I don't know where if you're watching this on Facebook, you're going to click up here. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're going to click down here.
That's
and
true.
If you're watching it on like, I don't know, Twitch, maybe you're going to like click to a different page over there.
Yes.
I think we were going to ask the same thing. Can we enter that as well?
Oh, sorry, team.
No.
Sorry. In the rules, it says that. But I don't know. We get cool stuff being part of Project Nerd too. So share that behind the scenes. But again, if you're not a part of Project Nerd currently, head on over to projectnerd.com. This is it. We're taking that offline tonight. Like that is it. This week, the newsletter that goes out will announce those winners. I thought about announcing them here, but then that defeats the whole purpose of signing up for the newsletter. You need to open our newsletter.
Right.
I got to get those clicks. Those clicks on opening that open rate, which by the way, I don't know if it is the Xbox or something else, but the past two newsletters have been a 50% open rate. That's impressive. For anybody who's done a newsletter or mailing campaign, my mind is blown. Impressive. And I just want to say, as we also today on our 10th anniversary hit 15,000, I think it was 15,000 followers on Facebook.
And there's been no nudity, so that alone right there deserves a gold medal.
But
Well,
each of
now.
the newsletter's subject line has been open for lots of nudity.
And now we're
That's-
announced PN's Patreon. No,
That's all coming in year 11, which starts tomorrow. So pretty quick.
I'm already in
So
talks
pretty
with
quick.
Q. We've had these conversations.
Right. Perfect. Yeah. Our impressive. People reached over the last 30 days 2.972 million on Facebook alone.
Man.
So
Wow.
what I'm getting at by sharing those numbers and the numbers that still come to our website is 10 years has been possible because of everybody. We all talked about how long we've been part of Project Nerd. All of y'all out there watching us, listening to us, all those people like Kenneth here who entered to win. He didn't enter to lose. He entered to win.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, there are going to be 11 winners because we're also giving out 10 Roku Expresses. There's also 10 Roku high definition devices. So I think they're the 4K ones, to be honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're impressive. But anyways, I just want to say thank you to all of you before I bow out for a little bit. 20 more minutes. I trust all of y'all to make this show crazier and rowdier than anything I could do.
You're making a mistake.
I appreciate it all. I'm so happy that all of y'all are a part of this show, and so happy that hopefully we got a couple more people joining too. So happy that everything that's happened in 10 years. And you're toasting. I don't have a drink, but here's my to another 10 plus years, everybody.
Yes.
Excited for the new
Group
shows. All right, y'all have fun.
Oh man, the boss is gone. And
All
Oh
right.
my God, what a drag.
Weird. Whoop whoop. Fake air horn noise.
DJ Khaled. Is that?
Wait a second. Wait a second. I didn't leave all the way.
Busted.
Oh man. I am so jazzed, A, to be chatting with all you guys, but B, the fact that Project Nerd has lasted 10 years is mind-blowing. And the fact that it's going to last for another billion years, I consulted with some scientific experts. They have let me know 1 billion years appears to be the current lifespan of Project Nerd. So I don't know what you guys have planned over the next billion years. If you guys have anything going on, but
I know in the contract we all signed, we're obligated to procreate so they can continue on as well. So if you all haven't gotten on that end of the deal, get on it.
We have to like raise up our children in Project Nerd. They must work for the company. It's very mafia-like, but
it's the opposite in Kanto. We're gonna put it on them.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Man, well, I don't know what you guys. Unfortunately, I wasn't around for the first part of this series.
We were talking so much shit about you.
I know. I felt it. I was getting like pinged on social media. People were like, "Yo, you need to get on that live broadcast right now and defend yourself, man. They are taking you. This is character assassination in the works." I am so excited. So I'm guessing you guys have talked about the new series, like ePlay and For the Win.
Yes, yeah.
And Let's Eat and all that amazing stuff. Let's dive in a little bit more. I know we briefly touched on it about the film festival, but this is a pretty big deal. So Colorado Festival Productions has been putting on amazing festivals all over Denver, all over Colorado for years now. And we have been attending them in various capacities over the past couple of years as press. We've been, assisting with the festivals here and there where we can. And this year, this great, amazing opportunity to essentially kind of rebrand one of their festivals presented itself. So what was formerly the Boulder Brew and Film Fest is now going to be the Project Nerd Film Festival. Inaugural year. Have any of you in your wildest musings thought that at some point Project Nerd would have its own film festival?
I've always wanted to be a part of it. My background is in video production. And so I've always wanted to be a part of a film festival. Not only, producing a film for it, but to be able to be on panels and whatnot. So I'm just super excited about this because I can actually use my degree for something instead of being a paperweight. Shout out to the Art Institute of Colorado. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, no. So
it's okay. They don't exist anymore. You can talk all this.
Yeah, yeah. Tell my loans that. Anyway, yeah. So I'm just excited for that. Excited to see what films come in, how all of this goes down, and then again, the opportunity. My whole thing is networking. So to be able to network with you guys on this and just see how this grows is super, super exciting for me.
Yeah, I can say, as a film nerd, like my journey towards Project Nerd started with a show that just ended. It actually its last episode of High Five the Podcast was this past Tuesday. Now whether that show comes back in the future, who knows? But I stopped. I think they stopped at episode 220. I stopped at episode 200. You tell me if you think me leaving had something to do with it. But I will say definitively that my foundation and what brought me to Project Nerd was a love of movies. That podcast was all about films and just really enjoying kind of both the appreciation side of film, but also the creation side of film. And for me personally, the opportunity to kind of have the reins of a film festival and give an opportunity to spotlight those creatives who are out there pouring blood, sweat, and tears for these films that they're making is amazing. Just that opportunity to spotlight and showcase and give a platform to some of these films. I think that's what Project Nerd has done so well over the past decade, has been, not only spotlighting the same interviews with every, famous celebrity that every other news outlet is doing, but we've really been focused on spotlighting the people who love those famous celebrities or want to create things of their own or want to do these things. And I think this is just another great extension for us to be able to do that on a deeper scale. Not only are we going to be interviewing filmmakers, but we're going to say, hey, you got an amazing film that we believe in. Let's show it at our film festival. Go ahead and share it with your friends who want to enter. We're up on Film Freeway right now. I'll go ahead and give it a plug that if you have a film, if you are a filmmaker watching this right now, you can submit a film to the Project Nerd Film Festival. Go to filmfreeway.com. Just type in Project Nerd Film Festival, whether it's in this window or that window or wherever the windows are, and submit your film. If you've been on the fence and maybe we're the first film festival you've ever submitted to, maybe we're the 5 millionth film festival you've ever submitted to, submit. We want to see it. We want to see the amazing things that you guys create.
Say the website again.
Yeah, it's filmfreeway.com. And then I have a question too. So we've talked about new things that are coming for Project Nerd. We've talked about a new film festival. If you guys could just pick one random new thing for Project Nerd to do over the next 10 years, what would you like to see happen next? Like, what's something that would be very cool or personal or meaningful to each of you?
Project Nerd cookies.
A bakery.
Callback.
Bakery. Callback.
I'm into that.
A convention. I want to have a callback to I got to work the one and only Project Cosplay Convention, and it was one of the best events. I had absolutely so much fun, and it was definitely the con goers convention. It highlighted the independent artists, and I really think the direction we're going right now. I mean, the entire event was around cosplay and taking photos, so it was like kind of like how Colossal Con is. It's all just about photos. And now that we have all of these new amazing endeavors with video games and film, like we can make this the independent artists, convention and all just around the fandom of being a nerd. And I really would love to be a part of that and help bring that back.
Yeah. I'm glad you teed that up. So there are definitely conversations happening about that maybe being a thing. How close it is, I don't know. We'll see. But it definitely is something that is at the forefront of kind of our next steps. And if you don't think you will not be involved in that, you have a surprise coming, because you definitely will be. No pressure at all, but it all hinges on you.
I am ready. We're ready. We got this.
But I think that's a great idea. Project Nerd, we've been attending conventions for 10 years now. We've been supporting conventions, other people's conventions, and I think that there's a great opportunity for us to, very much like this film festival, maybe take something that's already even in existence and kind of give it that Project Nerd facelift, if you will.
Does that mean I have to show my boobs, or is that?
Yeah. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I should have discussed that with you beforehand, but yes.
Now, expanding on that, I wouldn't mind seeing, a convention, but I would mind seeing a touring convention. So a different spot each year. So everybody, all individual creators across across America at least, can show up and show off their stuff, and so a traveling convention would be amazing as well. Or picking off of a different convention whose name I won't mention, but they do a main convention in one location, and then they have satellite conventions in different areas the same weekend as the main convention. So they call them pop-ups. So maybe some pop-ups around the country, and then one localized location. And I want to suggest Indianapolis for the location.
Why would you want to do that?
3-hour trip for me.
I will say,
I mean, Indianapolis is home to one of my favorite conventions annually, which is Gen Con, and they do pop-ups just like that. So
that's the one I was talking about, actually. Yeah.
I can speak to that a little bit as well. So the good news is, like I mentioned, the convention thing is definitely on the table. But another thing that we're looking at doing, it's different but similar, is that there's definitely been talks of like touring, traveling shows. So some of our series, some of our events, some smaller pop-up events, some game night type stuff.
Muppet Burlesque.
Yes, we have talked about that. But there is an opportunity that Project Nerd could kind of be rolled out into various cities across the country. I don't know. Did Iggy talk in the last hour about any of the comedy stuff that we've been doing?
Do your research.
Nope. Good. Well, I'll talk about it. So Project Nerd Productions has officially produced 2 stand-up comedy specials now that are going to be disseminated out into the world in the nearish future. I'm sure that there will be some trailers and some information dropping over the next couple months. But that being said, in doing so, we have found a huge kind of a huge want and desire from the comedy community to get involved with Project Nerd. And we at Project Nerd love comedy. And so we've seen some opportunities, and some opportunities are presenting themselves to where, not only producing filmed comedy specials, but maybe producing some live shows over the continental United States for now. So I think that's a great opportunity to bring a little PN love to your hometown, even if you're not in one of these convention cities, if you will. So 2 things so far, 2 ideas that have been thrown out that we're kind of working on. Anything else anybody's got that they'd like to see?
Yeah, I would like to actually see 3 things.
Okay.
I would love to see let's make a video game.
Yeah.
We're all the mini bosses.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm into that.
make a video game. That'd be really, really cool.
Cool. Do we have any dev people on the team? Anybody who has?
I know we got
don't
guys that
know.
have really good ideas.
Okay.
And JD.
Any coding,
Yeah,
any
we-
actual technology.
Yeah. Do we have anyone who can actually
Make
make
it.
a video game?
Happen.
No?
I know some folks.
Okay.
that
All
are
right.
really
Cool.
cool.
Let's
So,
talk about it. I love that idea. All right. So that's idea one. I love it.
something like that. I'd love us to do something. Maybe this could go with the comedy fest. Well, I kind of give it away. But a comedy / music fest.
Yes.
That would be really cool to kind of.
Yes,
do
you are
something where
not
we-
the only person on the team who has been interested in that. And actually, maybe we'll take this conversation offline. I know I'm pointing the wrong way. I know you have talked about this as well.
Yes, this is a conversation that has come up many a time. Yeah.
I think that would be great. Why can't you nerd out about music, right?
Absolutely.
You can nerd out about comedy, you can nerd out about music, you can nerd out about films, you can nerd out about, cooking. I love that idea. So yes, stay tuned for that. I also think there should absolutely be a music piece or a festival of some sort.
That would be great. And then I thought, why not do? You could take any of those things, but do a reality show based around those things. So, hey, let's do a reality show where we audition comedians, or who's the best nerd comedian, or
I definitely think that a Project Nerd reality series is not far off of the mark either. That definitely may be something that is in the works. May or may not be. I don't know. Luckily,
neither confirm or
Disney
deny.
isn't my overlord right now, so they're not gonna send people to kill me at my house for violating any NDAs. But yes, we agree. I think that some sort of reality series would be great. Maybe a couple different types of reality series would be great. Yeah. And hopefully we'll have some of that stuff popping up more with the conversation about PN10 and beyond as well in the next week or so, like Iggy mentioned.
One other thing I'd like to throw out there.
Yeah.
Is
More cookies? Baked goods?
Baked goods are always good. I'd like to see more sports related and possibly wrestling related content. Yeah, exactly. And there had been talk before, because there was some blog going on there, and it kind of fell by the wayside. But I don't mind picking that back up again.
I'll go ahead and clue you in. That conversation has definitely been happening. Not so much on the wrestling side, which I am not opposed to and all about, but definitely on the sports side. We have, turns out, quite a few people within the Project Nerd organization already who may or may not already have existing sports podcasts that are real good. And so, so more about that coming. But I fully agree. Sports are a huge passion for a lot of people. Both, wrestling, football, baseball, golf, literally anything. So I definitely would love to see more of that as well. Anybody else? Tyler, what do you got? What do you want to do? You want to do something book related? You want to have a book fair? Project Nerd book fair?
Get your quotas.
Yeah, I think you're muted.
Muted.
The answer to that is always yes. And I have tried multiple times to get a Project Nerd book club going. The problem is I can't get anyone to read a goddamn book. You're all uncultured
nerd.
I know. What horrible nerds we are.
You're all the worst. I even picked that I picked out a really good book. I bought it for some people. I gave it out to everyone. I pointed links to the book and the audiobook read by Shilte Isafor. And as far as I know, no one actually has completed the book yet. So people made some noises like they're
ridiculous.
It does not have pictures, but
if it doesn't have pictures, I have a hard time.
Now, did we talk about Project Nerd Publishing coming back online?
We did talk about Project Nerd. That was one of the very first things we talked about. So.
Perfect. Excellent. So I think book related stuff is huge. Honestly, as a as a parent and as a reformed non-reader, I think reading is very important. I over the past year have picked up I think I've read like 6 or 7 books, which to many doesn't seem like much, but to me is like massive, because I didn't read it all. But I would love to see something book related. I don't even know that it would necessarily have to be like a book club type thing, but I would love to see something on the book side. Maybe an extension of Project Nerd Publishing, you know, outside of the comics realm and more into like independent produced self-published novels or something of that nature.
One of my favorite things I did when I was at a convention, I met a writer who was promoting her book, and she had this like fascinating story about like her real life experience of being the model agency in LA, and then like was promoting the book there at this convention about this like murder mystery of this novel. And I think it's just one of those things where I tried to get her on one of our shows, but she never got back to me. But like there is a market out there for those kind of authors, and they belong in our community. And I really, what you just said, like we're already in it, we're already living it. It's just getting them to trust us to come on our shows.
And then once that happens, you know, that extension into independent publishing, then Tyler, you do get your book club.
That's true.
That's all I really want.
You're like
I just need some of you to read occasionally.
Stop focusing on us and start focusing on them. And by them, I mean the people watching this stream.
Listen, they're not wrong.
Something else I really want to see, though, guys, is I want to see more Mike.
Yeah,
he's above me. I don't know if he's. Yes, more.
I want to see more Mike.
You guys, I brag about knowing Mike all the time, and I have so many people that want to know him, and then he's never on anything. And I'm like, I swear to God, I know him. I swear to God, I've met him in real life. Like
there, now we've just got more Mike.
There we go, more Mike.
All Mike TV.
Mike TV.
No, I do want to hear from Mike though. Mike, what do you think about Project Nerd, and what would you like to see over the next 10 years or so? What would you like to see us achieve?
I want to see an expansion on gaming. Like Isaiah was talking about, like what we were kind of talking about is like game pitch pod, all those ideas. I want to possibly see something like a game jam where we have indie developers and artists all like work together to create their version of whatever that game pitch pod is. Another idea that I was thinking was putting on an esports tournament, and it could be any game that we can make into esports. We could literally make any game into esports, or even
Goat Simulator, the
speed
esport.
running. Yeah, Power Wash Simulator. We could do that.
I wish we had people on this team that used to help run a gaming convention out here in Colorado, Mike. I wish we knew 3 people on the PN that all participated in doing that.
Yeah.
2 of them aren't here, but I think one of them is. I don't know.
Who would possibly? I think that's an excellent idea. I do think that this year, aside from the production of ePlay and For the Win, which are 2, I don't think it's by accident that our two of our largest new like television series that we're producing happen to be video game centric series. I think that that's because of the people that we involved in the team, but also a clear direction of kind of the space that we want to get into, right? I would love to see us going to more of the video game conventions. You know what I mean? I want to see a larger presence there. I think that that's a huge opportunity and a huge segment of kind of our audience that we're not really catering to very much. And I think we absolutely should. So I love all of those ideas. I think they're excellent. I'm going to throw one out there randomly. And it's just because I'm weird, but I want to see more puppet involvement. You know what I'm saying? I want PN puppets. I'm just going to have this guy host the rest of the show.
Yes.
I just want to see more PN puppets.
Love it.
I love
maybe a series.
Honestly, no, I want puppets. That's not
I know
that we should have a puppet show.
I know Sarah is 100% on board. So there's these amazing things, kind of like you were talking about with the game jams. There's these amazing things called puppet slams, which is where independent like puppet creators, and puppetry can be so many different things. Like it's not just like Jim Henson style puppets. It could be shadow puppetry. It can be like really intricate, crazy stuff. Exactly.
The Chinese puppets, the classic shadow puppet.
Yes,
Like that's like a real art
definitely.
form. Yeah.
Yeah. But puppet slams are where all of these kind of creators converge, and they usually have like it's like a live event, like a evening long thing where they each produce like 2 or 3 minute segments, and it's all just various puppet art forms telling different stories. It could be like a dramatic story, it could be a comedy, it could be adult oriented, it could be for kids. I would love to see something like that. And that's just on my, and again, for no reason other than I nerd out about puppets, and I would love to see us do something.
I have another one I want to throw out there. So
Yeah.
I'm like half fluent in sign, and I am currently working on being fully bilingual in Spanish.
Yeah.
And one of my personal goals for PN is I want to start getting a little bit more bilingual and get a little bit more inclusive with other languages, even if it's just me talking in Spanish and translating. But I really want to broaden our horizons in that and get a lot more inclusive.
I think that's a great jumping off point as we kind of wrap things. I think that's a 100% intentional direction that Project Nerd is going. Inclusivity is what we're all about, and that doesn't necessarily just stop at gender, race, cultural background, your particular walk of life, but it's also your passions. We want diversity in passions. There are so many things that people can be passionate about. There are so many things that people enjoy. And it's not normally what you would just like, some person may be like, hey man, I'm really into puppets, plants, cooking,
landscaping, architectural landscaping.
Exactly. There's literally something for everyone. And I don't know that we'll ever get to the point where we have a podcast for everyone. But I do think that we can make a bigger effort over the next couple of years in doing some more inclusionary podcasts, also video series, also, conventions, and, intentionally going forward and trying to diversify, the audience that we're speaking to. So I love that. I think that's a great idea. I think that's kind of the banner that we want to wave going into the next couple of years. I'm very, very excited to have all of you as part of the team. I'm very proud to be amongst this PN nerd crew. And I think we had an amazing 10-year run, and I think we have another amazing 10 years ahead of us, where I don't think the world is ready for what comes next. I don't think I'm ready for what comes next. I need like a bunch of naps before then.
You're going to need a lot of naps in your future in general.
I am going to need a lot of naps. That's so true. That's so legit. So one quick sec before we take off, where can everybody find each one of you outside of this live stream? And it doesn't even necessarily have to just be where can they find you on the Project Nerd Network, although I would love it if you would plug that as well. But also, where can people find out just more about you? And let's start here with Sarah. Am I pointing in the right direction? Yes. Start this way, and we'll just go counterclockwise. Wait, you ready? Wait. Boop. For some reason, it made me like I wanted to like lean backwards, although that is not at all what's needed. Exactly. Sarah, I think you're muted. Boop.
There we go. That's what happens when you're a working mama. You got to mute all the time. All right. You can find me. I don't know if you guys can see my hand on the stream because there's so many of us. But at Cosplay Mama is my Instagram. But you can also find the G Spot Nerdcast on Facebook. Also, you can just find us on the website. Me and my beautiful co-host Dee, we are two modern women who talk about very complex issues, but we use a nerd lens to make it more digestible, especially for people that might be pushing back. And unlike the real G Spot, we are very easy to find. Just go ahead and go on the internet and come check us out.
I love that. Boom. I just threw this up and you can see the full name. So that's perfect. That
There
way
we
people
go.
can
Right
find it.
there. Yeah, there we go.
Boom.
Right there.
Exactly. All right, cool. Justin, what about you?
Well, as Iggy pointed out, and as we talked about earlier, you can find me Friday mornings with the Project Nerd News Break, the PN News Break from the Project Nerd Newsroom, which I
I
won't
love
say
those
where
dulcet
that's
tones.
located, but you can find me there every week. And Instagram and Twitter, you can find me at Justin on WITZ. So you can find me on those platforms.
Nice. Thank you, Justin. Appreciate it. Tyler?
Mostly just on any and all things Project Nerd. I would say, I mean, as we're talking about PN10, if you go back and listen to any of the Nerdcast, but a vast majority of them will be on there. Obviously, our newest flagship podcast and video stream, Press Play, you can find me there. And there's a really good chance if you go to any events that Project Nerd's at, there's a good chance I'll be there. So come say hi. We'll high five. It'll be awesome.
I love it. Isaiah?
Yes, as you can see down here, at Select Screen is my handle. You can find us pretty much on every social media profile there is. But if you head over to our link tree, /Select Screen, and it's spelled with fives, that's 5 ELECT 5 CREEN, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. I love Twitter. So all of those is probably the easiest way.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Mike?
Hey, what's up? You can find me at Mike the Quad on pretty much any social. You can Google me if you need to, and you'll definitely see me. Most likely you'll find me on Twitch most of the time, playing and raging on video games, specifically Apex Legends.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Now, I also can't forget to mention these two here. Nope. Yep. There and there are also going to be hosts of the brand new series ePlay coming to a screen near you. So make sure you check that out. Stay tuned to all the Project Nerd news outlets to find out where and when you can watch that series. I'm Q. I am heavily involved with Project Nerd stuff. So anywhere that Project Nerd is, odds are you'll probably be talking to me at some point. I love Project Nerd. I think Project Nerd is an amazing brand who has done some amazing things over the past 10 years. I'm very excited to be a part of the next 10 years. Check out my old show, High Five the Podcast, just ended its run. It's part of the Project Nerd Network. Please check out our new show, Press Play. It's going to be amazing. We have so many cool episodes. Tyler and I got down talking about Oscar picks this year, which was a lot of fun. So definitely check that episode out. I won't say that we talked about Dune a lot, but we definitely talked about Dune a lot, like a crazy amount.
Listen, you can talk about Dune all day, every day.
Right. We could probably do like a 2-part movie about our love of Dune.
You know what you could do is you could read Dune.
Oh, okay. Well, on that note, I'm going to end this episode. Thanks everybody for joining us. I appreciate it. Thanks for being with us the past 10 years, and we look forward to seeing you over the next 10 years.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
We'll see you later. Goodbye. Farewell.